yes. Silence is commanded by this honorable commission. All those having business, draw near. Thank you, and you may have a seat at this time. During the time that we are preparing ourselves now to begin this meeting, you heard the deputy say silence is commanded, so please check your cell phones and your electronic devices, all right? Because if he confiscates them and take them to the bread and breakfast, you're gonna have a long time getting it back. It's not just walk back out there and get my phone, okay? It doesn't work that way. It's a process. And so I don't want to expose you to that. So please, ma'am, please, sir, cut them off, all right, including the commissioners. Cut them off, all right, so that we're there. I've asked you to be seated at this time that we get ready for our inspiration and our invocation. I'm gonna ask our minister that when she gets ready for prayer, all right, the invocation, if she will please acknowledge so that we can stand at that particular time, and then after then we have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Milton, all right. Today we have with us Minister Brandy Smith, all right, the spiritual Oasis commenced in her formative years at Happy Home Missionary Baptist Church under the tutorage of Reverend Willie Gwynn. She was officially ordained as a minister on April the 23rd, 2023 at the Second Honor Missionary Baptist Church under the leadership of Reverend Dr. Richard L. Hall Sr., and currently holds the position of Associate Minister leading the intercessory prayer ministry at the church. We welcome you, all right, and let me say this to everybody, especially her, Happy New Year, okay, in case I forget to say that. But Minister Smith, if you will come and lead us in your inspiration, all right, and then when you get ready for your invocation, allow so that we may stand with you, all right? The floor is yours.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year to everyone, to Chairman Ellis, members of the commission, and everyone in their respective places. It is indeed an honor to stand before you this morning. As we prepare to move forward into the new year, I want everyone to just think about all the things that they aspire to happen for themselves within the upcoming, not only in this year, but in the years to come. We're not talking about just your normal New Year's resolutions of, oh, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to eat better, I'm going to finally pull out that walking pad and actually put it to use. But stretch beyond the norm. Stretch beyond those things that are bigger than what you can even imagine. Make greater, bigger goals for yourself. Things that will really put a great impact on not just your normal life, but on your spiritual life as well. Because even though eating better and exercising and taking care of ourselves are great, we must be transparent with ourselves and know that in January we get off to a good start. But by April or May, we're back to eating what we used to eat. We're not going to the gym as often. We don't always have the time. So I want you to stretch your mind just a little bit bigger than just the normal, typical New Year's resolutions. Because Proverbs 4:26 tells us to ponder the path of thy feet and let all thy ways be established. It is in this verse that we are urged to take careful consideration of the direction of our lives so that we can live a life of purpose and stability. This verse also calls for us to take a good look at our lives. Think about what it is that we desire. Consider our actions. Evaluate what influences our choices and determine the steps to take to accomplish those things. What is it that will get us to that next level? In other words, in this new year, I want everyone to think before you step. Instead of just going through life with a clear purpose, without a clear purpose, and feeling disconnected, take time to analyze your career moves, your relationships, and your daily habits to see if it is aligning with God's plan for your life according to His Word. We must take careful consideration of the direction of our lives and be intentional about making wise choices, ensuring that our actions are consistent and firm. In other words, be steadfast in all your ways. So how do we apply this to our lives in the new year? We do it by one, staying focused. Put your feet on the path and your eyes on the purpose that God has for you. Two, don't stray to the left or to the right so that you can avoid those things that will be a distraction to you. We know that we all have different things that may be coming at us that are going to distract us, but if we stay focused and not waver, we can meet that goal. We also have to be consistent. Be consistent in your actions and make wise decisions and choices. And we also have to be mindful of the decisions that we make. That includes the company that we keep, the people that we surround ourselves with, who we allow to influence us. We have to pause before taking any type of action and weigh the cost. Make sure that that we have to be mindful of the practical consequences as well as our spiritual consequences. That means we have to ask ourselves that will our actions bring us closer to our purpose or will it move us further away? Thank you.
All right, let us stand and give it for prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come before you first and foremost to tell you thank you for this day. We thank you that you've allowed us to see another day, a day that we've never seen before. And as we prepare to go forward in this meeting, we ask that you touch each and every person that has a part to play in the meeting. And Lord God, that everything comes together as well. You have placed each and every person in the position that you've placed them in, and you've given them the wisdom and the knowledge to go forth. So we ask that you give them strength and endurance to continue to lead this county to greater heights and deeper depths in you. We ask that you give them strength and determination to continue to move forward in spite of all that is going on in the city. We thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Commissioner Middleton.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Minister Smith, thank you again for coming and sharing your words of inspiration with us and pointing us to the path that we must cover as the county commissioners here set forth in 2026. We thank you for all you do and for the things that you have done, all right?
You're welcome.
At this time, let us have roll call.
Chester A. Ellis, Chairman.
Present.
Anthony Wayne Noah, District 1.
Present.
Melinda Scott Hodge, District 2.
Present.
Bobby Lockett, District 3. Patrick K. Farrell, District 4. Tanya
Here.
Milton, District 5.
Here.
Yes, sir. Aaron Whiteley, District 6.
Here.
Dean Kicklighter, District 7.
Here.
Marcia Buford, District 8.
Here.
All right, at this time, let me call on Commissioner Middleton as she leads us with our youth commissioners.
Good morning, everyone. I get really excited to introduce the young people who are part of our youth commission. They come in and they are interested in learning. They've already showed an interest in learning. And they sat through our pre-meeting this morning, and I could see the faces and how they were like wanting to ask questions. So I'm gonna introduce them. We have Miss Saya King. She's a senior at Johnson High School, and she has been accepted to 13 colleges, so she's
right.
ready to go. She's interested in education, and I'm really happy for that. I mean, we need all the educational teachers and instructors we can get, and she wants to kind of go further west, probably a little farther west than her mom wants her to go, but. And then we also have Mr. Kai McGinnis. He's a junior at BC, and his interest is engineering. He's a junior right now, so he's got he's got some other little thoughts going on, but we're just glad to have you. Pay attention. I'm sure you got questions just from the pre-meeting already, but if you listen in, we'll go through pretty much everything that we did in the pre-meeting, and then you can ask questions if you have questions as we proceed. And welcome.
And let me, on behalf of all the commissioners, welcome you to our meeting and invite you to take part. All right, if you have questions, don't hold them. Just raise your hand. If I don't see you, one of the commissioners up here will see, and we'll get your questions in as we go. And I'm especially excited because we begin the year was someone who wanted to follow the path that I took. For I taught in the public school system for 33 years. So I'm glad you want to begin an education. And then, Mr. McGinnis, I hope that you saw the other day, they did a thing on 60 Minutes the other day
With Atlas.
about the robots, right? And how they are using them and having trained so that they can act human, okay? And the first time I saw the remnants of that robot was when I went to South Korea. And now it was here right in Bryan County, and so it's being built in Boston and being trained. So you having an interest in engineering, you may come up with the next one. I don't know, maybe you may come up with the first flying car, right? We go to the Jetsons, right? So I'm glad that we can spark your interest, right? But more than that, I'm glad that as you pursue, hopefully we have things in place so that you can stay home and don't take your talents to other places in the country, but stay here in Chatham County. So welcome, and please take part. At this time, let me call all of those with Judge Cole, all right, who are going to come as we get ready to do the proclamation for the human trafficking. And I see my favorite sister is here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We haven't talked in a while. Huh?
Thank you for having us. It's great.
Yeah, maybe we need to catch up at B. Matthews again.
Be
All
good.
right, okay. So I look forward to doing that with you. But as I bring this proclamation, and recognizing January as Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month in Chatham County, let me read a portion of it, and then I'm gonna turn it over to you, Judge Cole, and whoever else needs to speak, all right? The County of Chatham, Georgia, proclamation. Whereas human trafficking is a horrendous crime and a violation of human rights that have affected individuals in every community, including ours, and whereas an estimated 24.9 million people are the victim of human trafficking globally, including men, women, and children who are exposed for labor, sex, and other formative of servitude. And whereas January is the nationally recognized Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month, a time to raise awareness about the crime and to take action to prevent it in all forms. Now therefore, I, Chester Ellis, Chairman on behalf of the Chatham County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim January 2026 as Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month in Chatham County, and urge all residents to engage in activities that raises awareness and supports efforts to end human trafficking. In witness whereof I hereto set my hands and cause the seal of Chatham County, Georgia, to be affixed this 9th day of January 2026. The floor is yours. All right.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. And mostly what I want to do is a couple things. I want to introduce who I have here,
Okay.
and I want to tell you very briefly what this county is doing. But today with me, I have our Chief Deputy Court Administrator, Alicia Markle, Judge Laura Singleton, our Hope Court, which is the Human Trafficking Treatment Court in Chatham County, Coordinator Laura Weatherly, and our Program Director, Christina Lunabach. And we'll introduce Theros people in just a second. But I want to, as a juvenile court judge and as our juvenile court, we have jurisdiction for the children who are victims of human trafficking. And Chatham County is either number 4 or number 5 in the state for human trafficking. And we see children every week who are victims of this. You know, Judge Formey leads that court in Chatham County, and she's actually in a hearing now that's dealing with that issue, so she couldn't be here. But on behalf of myself, Judge Kramer, Judge Formey, Judge Singleton, and all of our staff, I just want to thank the commission, the county manager, for all of the support you provide to us to help these victims, because it is one of the most tragic and horrifying things we see in our work. And this county's doing a lot. You're on the forefront. The first human trafficking treatment court in Georgia is here in Chatham County. And that's supported by this commission and our citizens, and it's doing some really amazing work. Part of what we have in this county as well is a residential treatment facility for victims of human trafficking, and that's Theros Place. And I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Wade, but mostly I wanted to say thank you to the county for, helping us in our work for these children. So,
You're welcome.
Ms. Wade?
Thank you, Judge Cole, and it's great to be here. And Hope Court, or Theros Place, would not exist without Juvenile Court and Hope Court and Marcia Buford, and the focus of this issue in Chatham County is what led us to be. We opened a little over 2 years ago, serving young people who are victims of human trafficking. It is hard work, but I do want to report we have some wins, and yesterday we moved one of our young people into the dormitory at Savannah State University. She just graduated in December, so
All right.
yes, we're
Yeah.
super excited. Barbara Davis, who you know is our education coordinator, moved her in, and the wonderful thing about it is she just looks like a regular old freshman in college. We did an Amazon fund drive to get her dorm stuff. If you've moved kids into dorms lately, you know they need all sorts of stuff. I wish I could show you pictures of her moving in because it just looked like any old kid moving into college. So it's really hard work, but those are the paths we're looking for. Those are the successes we're looking for. We really appreciate the investment of the county into our work. Y'all are one of our early government funders, and in a very complex, changing funding environment for nonprofits, your money is critical. I also want to give a shout out to y'all's human service team that has made sure that all grantees receiving funds, their staff is receiving trauma-informed care. That's critical to our work. That's easy for us to check that box because we do a lot of that work, but the fact that all of the agencies who are receiving funds are going through trauma-informed care training and treatment helps us be able to partner with everyone, and so I just think that's a really great progressive step that y'all are doing. I do want to introduce Kate Gallup. She is our new outreach manager. She does training for human trafficking for all sorts of people, so if you ever need any training for your government agencies, we think about people that go into homes, trash collectors, power line people. So if there's any ever training we can do for y'all in your government capacity or in your individual capacity, Kate is on the team to do that, and she's doing a great job. And then also I want to introduce Priya Paget, who's on our board of directors, and also is the director of SCAD Serve, which is doing incredible work in the community, connecting SCAD with nonprofits. So thank y'all very much for everything. We're very grateful and proud to be a part of this county and the work we do.
And just let me say how proud we are to be a part with Juvenile Court as well as with Theros Place and working with the human trafficking. And I'm on my way next week and the week after. Next week is Atlanta, and the week after DC. I'm going to see if we can spark some more funding to come this way, all right, for Juvenile Court in that area. I'm going to have those conversations next week and the week after with that. Let's go to Commissioner Whiteley. And Commissioner Whiteley has the most lately experience about moving folks into dormitories.
Yeah, you're right about that. And you get a bunch of stuff from Amazon you don't need, but 30% of it. So first, thank you all for your work. I know that what you do has got to be emotionally trying, and I know people who've been able to be in your courtroom and understand the level of compassion that you guys operate in. So I appreciate your work, and I appreciate what you all are doing. As it relates to Theros Place, I know that we fund you all through the Blueprint Grant. Do you all service other counties aside from Chatham?
We do, yes. We are a service provider throughout the state. So we serve Chatham County girls and also serve girls that are referred to us throughout the state.
Got you. So do those other places who make referrals, do they chip in too?
Those counties do not, but most of those girls are defects girls, and so we do get a nightly stipend from them. So
From the state?
From the state, yes.
So that's
Yeah.
got to be a little nerve-wracking. I was able to see a hearing,
Yeah.
if y'all are aware. DFACS is $80 million in the hole.
Oh,
Is there any contingencies in place, or should we expect a higher blueprint ask this coming year?
Well, I'll tell you what we're doing, and Judge Cole and I just talked about this. So, for example, we had a young person that was going to be placed back home in December, and she was court ordered to do a home visitation on Thanksgiving, which was really, really critical because she was not a Chatham County girl. Really critical that.
Excuse me, you said she was not?
She was not a
Okay,
Chatham
gotcha.
County
She was
girl.
a-
So DFACS would typically provide transportation. And DFACS is like, sorry, we don't have the money, no transportation. But we knew it was critical for that girl to go on that Thanksgiving home visit for her return in December to be successful. So we had planned to provide the transportation at our own expense. At the very last minute, the transportation came through because I think they realized like, oh, you know. So we are fortunately in a position where even if services are not authorized, we're going to continue to do what's best for our young people, whether they're from Chatham County or elsewhere. And so, yes, some of the dollars they all go to Thero's Place, and our
Right.
resources serve girls throughout the state, but we're going to continue to provide the very best service we can, frankly, regardless what the state says, as
Yeah.
long as we can. We are planning our Blueprint grant. I'm sure y'all know the schedule. I think the first letter is due in the next month or so. We have not asked for a increase in the past couple years, and I'm not sure if we will or not. But we're very grateful for the funds. Like I said, we make them go very far. So, and if you haven't been out to visit, we welcome. I know Commissioner Whiteley has. Of course, Marcia Buford has been a few times. But if you ever want to come out and visit, we'd love to have you. Have you been, Chairman? Have you come out?
When you, at the very first, when you
Very
first got the
beginning.
property.
Okay.
When you
Come-
first got the property, I was there.
Okay.
To see.
Come
I
see it
haven't-
in action.
I haven't been lately.
Come see it in action.
Yeah.
It's a fun place to be. It's mostly laughter.
So with that, and I'm asking these questions just because I want to help. And so of you, you've been in operation for 2 years. Roughly, what if you had to put a percentage of how many Chatham County youth have been in your spot? What would you say?
I would say about 10%.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So is there something we can do? Can we write a letter from the commission asking these other counties who are making referrals or something to chip in? Because what I don't want to happen, just with all due respect, our Blueprint dollars are meant
Right.
for the Chatham County Blueprint, and I want to make sure that I would like us to increase it regardless whether somebody else chips in. Let me be clear on that. I want your mission to be carried out, but I also want, I don't want us to continue to foot in the bill. And you might notice in some other headlines that we are not letting Chatham County residents continue to foot the bill when they shouldn't. And so is there something that we can do as a commission individually, as commissioners, or as a commission as a whole to maybe leverage or work to get some funding from those other counties that are making referrals?
Sure, I would love to explore that. In particular, right now, we are getting a lot of referrals from the Augusta area, so that may be something we could talk to, and maybe y'all have some connections there.
Yeah.
We are working with Pooler. They are, Michael Carpenter, who's on Pooler City Council, is on our board. They do not give any grant funding to any nonprofits, and we've been working with them, and I believe coming before their council is a proposal to implement a grant program similar to y'all's. I hope I haven't given inside information there. So, but just to your point, like, we are in Pooler, and so there are other municipalities, but I'd be happy to explore that. I also want to say we employ about 27 people, most of whom live in Chatham County, so we are, part of the economic driver for the county in that respect. But I certainly understand wanting to serve Chatham, and Laura and I were just talking today about a couple young people that she has that may be a good placement. Judge Cole and I were talking about, you can sort of suggest they go places, but ultimately it's not up to any of us.
Well, just so we're not just talking about it, Mr. Manager, I have a number of connections in Atlanta, and Mr. Chairman, so whatever we can do to leverage those, I'll be happy to make contact. I want to make sure that I'm doing it in good order, so I will connect with you offline to kind of see what we can do to ask Augusta, for starters, to chip in a little bit down here, at least from however they can. Thank you all for your work.
And one of the things I'll say to you that we started this conversation, I want to say either June or July, if my memory serves me correctly. As we talked about the adolescent center that's being built over on off of Wilshire. We talked to the state folks, and if you have any connection with anybody in the state, talk to them about using a regional aspect, okay? They are more adapted to giving monies to regional outfits. And see, that's what I think, like, for instance, when I talk to them about juvenile court, they have kids that are from other places as well. See, so it all shouldn't fall on Chatham County, but it should be regional. And that regional map should fall from Swainsboro, and Glenn and all the rest of them where they have kids from. All those folks ought to be chipping in. So therefore, that if it's a regional thing, then that means the state ought to contribute more to the regional parts of juvenile court. And so Judge Cole, to tell you, that's one of the conversations that we've been stirring up with those folks help us with this fight because, just putting the burden on us to come up with all the funding is a real, and right now, I know the manager probably gonna hit me over the head later, but I already said to them, we gotta look at expanding their facilities at juvenile court. Because there's more going on there than people know that's going on behind those doors. And so talking to Judge Foreman and Judge Colden, I know that that's one of the things that we're gonna have to face, all right? Expanding juvenile services, and that would include what we're doing here today. Commissioner Kicklighter?
Thank you. First, want to thank y'all. I know from hearing my daughter the important work that all of you do in that area. I was just curious, and I understand that there are certain privacy issues that would definitely have to be adhered to, but would there be any way in order for us to better assist you to have any type of statistics showing from year to year where the different, and nothing specific which would come close to identifying, but where the children were coming from, and then we could approach those counties or cities, specifically show them the data and ask them to share in it.
Absolutely, yes. We track all of that. We track referrals. Some referrals we don't even do an interview because they're clearly not eligible. And then we do an interview, and from there we make selections. So we have data on referrals, interviews, and then acceptance. So we'd be happy to provide that, and it's done by county.
Right,
And a couple counties get to know us, and they'll start sending there.
Right.
So we have, some random ones, like Burke County, we have a few.
And I admire and appreciate the fact that y'all helping children everywhere. And yeah, if we can get the stats, maybe
Yeah.
we can get the governments to help fund from everywhere
Sure,
also.
sure. Should I send that to Mr. Kegler?
That would be
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank
The
you.
report that you have, that they gave you, all right, if you share that with the board, okay? Then some of the information he's talking about is in there. Yes, ma'am. Turn and talk to your mic, because they can't hear you out in the broadcast.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Can you tell me exactly what is you guys' mission?
Yeah, so we serve girls aged 12 to 17 who have been victims of human trafficking in the state of Georgia. And so they're typically identified by the court, and then they come to us and we provide intensive therapy. We get them enrolled in school or GED. We give them a lot of life skills. We take them on a lot of outings. We do a lot of normal teenage stuff that y'all get to do. So we have a prom in the spring where they get dressed up, and so 5 or 10 years later, when they're with their friends and they're talking about prom and they have a DJ. So we try to normalize their teenage experience while addressing the underlying trauma. We have a teen board. You're about to graduate, but we have a teen board of girls across the county who help us find things to do that teenagers like to do, because what I think teenagers like to do is old lady isn't necessarily what they want to do. So if you have any friends who are sophomores or juniors would like to do that, that's us to, we try to kind of want to connect with the girls. But we're trying to make them have as fun a teenage life as you are while addressing the trauma and trying to find a path forward, whether it's going to Savannah State or something else.
And then Ms.
Don't she,
Weatherly.
don't she want to come on?
Hi, thank you so much for having us. The mission of Hope Corps is basically to support survivors of the commercial sexual exploitation of children, which is, you would think there was a number mentioned, it was 29.4 million, I believe, and I believe this is $1 billion industry across the world. And I also think that this is probably one of the #1 most underreported crimes within the United States and within the world. And so what Hope Court would like to do is to support these youth, right? We are a treatment court. We are not an accountability court. What we want to do is we want to figure out the goals that these kids have and how we can support them, how we can keep them out of the court system, how we can find the need behind some of the behaviors, and how we can be a trauma-informed court and help them get to where they need to be. They've been through some of the most traumatic things that anybody could ever be through. As an adult, think about how people go through traumatic events. And these are children ranging now from 11 to 18. Not just the 12, 13 that we kind of are hearing. We're getting 11-year-olds now who have been victims of this. And so we have a huge team, right, that is all trauma-informed. We are a trust-based relational intervention pilot program as well, which is called TBRI. And it's basically about promoting connection, empowerment, and then through those two principles, we can do correction. And so that's what we're aiming to do, is to celebrate the small stuff, get them on their goals, and let them know that they have people who actually care and listen about their needs and their trauma.
All right, did I get them? Now, did I get all Commissioner?
That answer your
Commissioner,
question?
Commissioner Hodge.
Thank you, Chairman. I do have a question and also a comment. With aftercare, what does that look like? Like, what is the pathway? Like, for instance, students who are sent on to, who are enrolled in an institution, are they connected to services there at the institution? Is there continued aftercare? And what's the cost of care for an individual that was to come in? And then that leads me to my statement. Would it be possible to, whenever we get convictions within the human trafficking courts, would they be able to pay some sort of restitution and the care and keeping of these victims of these crimes? Is that something that would be, that we could explore?
I think,
Yeah, because it's got to come from different angles.
right.
So in Hope Court, we have 3 phases. We have number 1 phase, number 2, number 3, and then we have an aftercare. They are all surrounded by safety. A lot of these kids don't have safety buttons in their heads, and so what we're trying to do is teach safety, promote safety, and encourage them to figure out what their own safety is. After they've been through the first 3 phases, we do have the aftercare phase, which is we kind of let back a little bit, right? We kind of say, if you guys come to us if you need us, we're still here, we're still this team. And we actually have a couple kids who are still 18 and older who are still in the care of DFACs, and they are still welcome to come to Hope Court. They're definitely not under a probation order, or they're not under a, anything but just a dependency order, and we still support them. They can come to Hope Court whenever they'd like to. They don't have to come to Hope Court if they don't want to. We've had a couple kids who graduated. I think we just had one who showed up at the courthouse the other day and said, I'm here, I haven't been here for 1.5 years. She graduated successfully, but had a wonderful discussion with Judge Formy the other day about all the things that she's accomplished. So our aftercare, even though if they do sign out of care, or if they do graduate, there's no one on our team who's not going to answer the phone if they call. So that is kind of how our aftercare works. I can speak towards some of the convictions. Right now I am seeing a lot of hearings coming up for certain traffickers that have trafficked our children in Chatham County. I did notice there's one, that there is restitution fee paid, but she'll be in jail for 30 years. So I don't know when that restitution will get paid or whenever that justice gets done. And I don't even know if that justice was enough for my Hope child who had to endure the process that this other young woman, who I will mention, was also CSEC as well. So I don't know if that money will come back. I don't know if that's something that would help some of these youth. I don't know if even the plea enough is a justice at this point, but we are seeing a gradual increase in traffickers being arrested, indicted, and then prosecuted. Right now in Chatham County, I have another one coming up in February where one of my Hope kids who graduated successfully will have to be, a witness for that. And so, there's a lot that goes on aftercare because these cases don't come up, a year after the victimization or a year even after an indictment. This goes on for a long time. The one that has their hearing coming up in February, she's been out of Hope Court for 2 years. She's got 2 jobs. She's got a boyfriend, secure housing. She's going to school. She's going to church. And so this also is a disruption for her as well. She's done so much. And so as much as we'd love for that, restitution and that money and those fees that these criminals have to pay, I don't know if that's ever going to be something that's going to bring them back to a place of healing. But we certainly hope that at least a little bit of something will help. I don't know if you have.
What, did I get everybody? Go ahead.
All right, so we also provide aftercare. It looks different for every young person. I will tell you a funny story. So our human service professional, our lead social worker, created a private Instagram account for all of our girls to stay in touch with her because, again, that's how teenagers like to stay in touch. And I got a call from the GBI, and they were like, do you know that your case manager has an Instagram account where she's talking to everyone? I was like, yeah, isn't that super cool? Like, we're able to stay in touch. And she was like, oh, well, okay. So it looks different for everyone. We are looking to tap different resources. So, for example, the girl that's at Savannah State, we've been able to kind of pour on different levels of resources. She's in foster care, so there's some resources that come with that. We have some other resources. We do try to stay in touch with them. Our girls that turn 18, a lot of them want to go back to their home community. We would love for all of them to stay in Savannah and be able to continue to support them with the networks that we have. So it does look different, but it is really important. We had one girl that turned 18, and we worked really hard to get her on Medicaid and get her SNAP benefits and get her all of her doctor's appointments in her new community and all of her prescriptions transferred. So making sure all that adulting stuff we were able to to help her. As far as money for restitution, both federal and state, there are funds for victims that are coming from restitution. I don't know the mechanics of that, but I know in Chatham County and in the state of Georgia, we have the LVAP 5%. We are an LVAP certified agency, but we do not receive the LVAP 5%, which has to be approved by the county. I'd be happy to chat with y'all, maybe Mr. Kegler and I. We might have to go to lunch. But we do get that. We also get money from Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, which I believe is also victim funds that are flowing to us. So it's not specific restitution ordered to Theros Place, but we are accessing federal and state dollars that are from victim restitution and victim fines that are flowing to victim service agencies.
And that's one of the ways that you all help, we help from the commission, is that with our staff, they write those grants and see through them so that we can get, and you up here, you will accept the money, all right, for them to be, and that's what we do with it, with those funds, is that we cater it into grants and things, and so right now, I think, if my mind served me right, I've signed about 15 of them. Right, and then the process, and today you're going to approve for some more from grant monies. So we're looking in every corner because there's none of us have a little uncle who have a gold pot over there that we can just dip into, okay? So we have to go through many different channels to get, and then once we get money, especially if it's federal money, it has some specific guidelines that you have to meet, that you have to carry out, that have to be done exactly the way they say it. And you have to give an account to them of their monies, or you don't get no more from them, all right? So we go through that. Yes, ma'am, Ms. King.
I just wanted to say that I really adore the passion that you guys have for your mission. Like, sitting here and listening to you guys talk about what you do and how you love what you do is very inspiring to me, which actually, like, inspired my love for education and wanted to teach the youth because I also want to cater to the youth. But what I was gonna say, sorry, I would love to get you guys contact information because in 2024, I was the first ever Miss Savannah Juneteenth, and I'm running again for Miss Savannah Juneteenth. And I would love to push you guys' message out and all of that, so I would love to hear from you.
And my girls would think you are super cool. So I would connect with you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love that. So I just want to say thank you for sharing your stories and everything.
I think she just opened up an invitation, and Mr. Manager, you may have to follow through on this. But what I really think that would help our youth commissioners is that you all make a presentation and show them what you do, and like she said, the passion she see in you all. There are some other ones sitting there on the youth commission too. So, Mr. Manager, if you can arrange a time and a method when they're meeting, that you meet with, that they meet with the folks that are here today, all right, and whoever else they want to bring, so that the others can get a feel of the passion and things that she sees and she feels. And then they can pass it on, because I'm telling you, children become our best teachers. Children teaching children, the best teachers. I saw a little thing on, and I don't remember where I saw it at, but one little baby boy was telling the other little baby boy, now listen, they left me in charge and you're going to do what I say. All right? And these are toddlers. And he said, and I'm saying, put that cookie back. See, and so he put the cookie back.
Cameron,
So
are
that-
you on TikTok?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do TikTok. Listen, I don't do TikTok, Facebook, or nothing. Somewhere that came up on my phone somewhere, all right? I saw it on somebody else's phone, okay? But I just remembered that. And I said, now that's what one little child teaching another little child. See, and that's the way we learn. We teach each other, all right? So anything else? Thank you all. All right, appreciate it. And we look forward to working, all right? If you will, there's a photographer behind you. If you all will face the clock and move in so that everybody can get in the photo. All right. Thank you all again. Let us have now the director from Savannah Book Festival. All right? If you will come and make your presentation, the floor is yours.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to share a brief update on one of Savannah's signature cultural events. I'm pleased to announce that the Savannah Book Festival will take place February 5th through the 8th in historic downtown Savannah. The festival is one of our country's leading literary events, welcoming world-renowned authors from across the nation to engage with our community through conversation, storytelling, and the shared love of books. On Free Festival Saturday, we will host more than 35 events that are free and open to the public, providing residents and visitors alike with access to nationally recognized authors and thought-provoking discussions, all at no cost. These events are designed to be accessible and inclusive, reinforcing our mission to celebrate literature and learning for everyone. One of the most meaningful aspects of the festival takes place behind the scenes. During festival weekend, the Savannah Book Festival sends 20 of our visiting authors into local middle and high schools across Chatham County. There, they speak directly with students about the life of a writer, the creative process, and the power of reading and storytelling. These visits leave a lasting impact, inspiring students to imagine new possibilities for their own futures. Through grants, we are able to provide copies of the author's books for the students, and believe me, that personalization and signing of the book by the author is a very special experience for the student. This year's festival will also feature 3 exciting headliner events. We have an opening address with a beloved Southern writer, Sean Dietrich. We have a keynote address featuring internationally recognized thriller writers Brad Thor and Ward Larson, and a closing address on Sunday with Lee Bardugo, a historical fantasy phenomenon whose work has captivated readers around the world. Over the 4-day weekend, the Savannah Book Festival will fill more than 11,000 seats, welcoming attendees from throughout Chatham County, the region, and across the country, providing both cultural enrichment and meaningful economic impact for our community. On behalf of the Savannah Book Festival, I'd like to sincerely thank this community and this commission for the incredible support that makes this event possible. This festival is truly a gift, one that reflects Savannah's deep commitment to education, literacy, and the arts. Thank you, and I hope to see you all downtown February 5th through 8th.
All right. Any commissioner questions? One question. Yes, sir.
Are there any local authors?
We do. This year, we always try to include some local authors, and this year we have 3 local authors. We have 2 professors from Georgia Southern University, Bennett Parton, who has written about Georgia's march into Savannah and the emancipation work that was done during that time. And Professor Kendra Parker from GSU will be presenting a book about Octavia Butler. And Keith Rushing, who has written a book about the Ogeechee culture, will all be presenting on Festival Saturday.
Thank you. All right. I got it. Thank you so much. And we look forward, even if I'm not there physically, I'm there spiritually.
Thank you so much.
At this festival, yeah, because I enjoy, especially when we're talking to educating folk as we go, and that's a passion of mine. All right. Let us go now to our chairman's item, election of our chairman pro tem, Dean Kicklighter. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Properly motion is second that Commissioner Kicklighter be elected as the chairman pro tem. Ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right. 6. Okay. All right, let's go on to there are no commissioner items. All right. Now we go to the table item, and there's still some work that needs to be done. All right, so therefore it'll fall off the table after this and come back in a different format.
And remember, Mr. Chairman, we're going to schedule a workshop to address that.
Right.
So when it comes back,
Right.
we'll have everything worked out.
Right, we'll have all the legal parts worked out when we come back, and we come back in workshop form. All right, we go to items for individual action. To request board approval of the following budget amendments and transfer. One, in the general fund, A, increase miscellaneous revenue, $2,000 to increase blueprint grant payment to others. B, transfer $12,000 from blueprint grant contingency to blueprint grant payment to others. Two, in the multi-grant fund, increase revenues and expenditures, $17,241 for the law enforcement officer funding grant. Three, in the capital improvement program fund, transfer $1,101,341 from contingency to the SEMA building project. Is there a motion? Properly motion is second that the request be approved. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. I'm waiting on one. Oh, he's not here? Waiting on, okay. All right, I got it now. You gonna hit your button? Number one. One under individual. Okay, we're there. Request board approval to submit a U.S. DOT building grant application for the President Street grade separation project in the amount of $25 million for right-of-ways, utilities, and construction, and to execute all required documents. Notice, a local match in the amount of $5 million will be required. District 2 and 3, is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All right, properly motion is second to request approval. All right. All right, unreadiness, ready, Commissioner Commissioner Farrell.
Yeah, I would, I'm supporting this big time, and I'd like to add, in addition to District 2 and 3 on this,
4.
I would like to add District 4, because
Okay.
all the,
Right.
all the bedroom community on the islands pass through there on a regular basis, and would very much appreciate the improvement there. And what we're talking about is to eliminate the railroad crossing on the President Street. So I'm a big supporter of that, and appreciate this being here today, and look forward to its completion.
Yeah, we've come a long way with this project. Yes, sir.
District 1 as well, because I got stopped by the train this morning.
If you come down the Parkway, you can run into that train. That's right. You're right.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
And also, let's include District 3.
District 3 is on here.
I know.
Yeah,
Just
2 and
wanted to
3
make
are on
sure.
here. They just want the 4 and 1 to be added to you.
I just want to let you know we appreciate it.
Might as
Yeah.
well get 6, 7, and 8 while you're at it.
The whole
Everybody gets
community,
caught by that
yeah.
one.
In fact, there's
All of
none of us,
Yeah.
there's none of us who don't go from one side of the county to the other. All right? So that's gonna be, and not getting stopped by that train is gonna be a blessing.
And for information purposes, in case the media is out there
Right.
listening, we're actually talking about an overpass, not actually getting
Right.
rid of the,
The train, the
Train.
track. We're not taking the track up.
Right.
We're going over it.
yeah,
All right? Good.
location, I guess.
All right now, so we need to vote. Cast your votes. All right. All right, now, Mr. Manager, we're at the transmittal.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to ask our Finance Director, Ms. Davis, to come to the podium as she gives you a brief presentation on the transmittal of the 2025 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report and the Audit Report. Ms. Davis?
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Thank you. This is our financial statements as of June 30th, 2025. And I would also like to introduce David Irwin. He's the Senior Auditor with Molden and Jenkins. He will also be here to answer any questions you might have. But just for review, we have, let me see if I get this. There we go. In front of you, you all have your statements here, and you also have a copy of the single audit, which outlines all of our grants. But in this financial statement, you have several different sections. So you have the introduction section, which includes the organizational chart, the elected officials, a copy of last year's ACFR award, and a transmittal letter. In the financial section, you have the auditor's opinion letter, which was a clean opinion. The management's discussion and analysis, which is a good place to start if you just want to get an overview of the entire statement. The entity-wide financial statements and the fund financial statements. The notes gives detailed information to support the numbers to the financial statements. The RSI includes budgetary comparisons, information on the OPEB and pension plans. The supplementary information gives details on non-major funds. So the basic statements, you'll have, I think, 7 major funds, and then you have smaller funds. The statistical sections, which gives a basically 10-year overview on different sections of the county. And then, of course, the state mandated section, which is your SPLOST information, hotel motel tax information, excise energy, and child support stuff. So our 2 main funds, general fund and the special service district, they had fund balances of $99.2 million and $18.9 respectively. That is a $9 million increase in the general fund and a $4 million decrease in SSD. On the revenue side, the biggest increase, it was our property taxes. I believe last year's digest was about a 10% increase in our digest numbers, which gave us more property taxes. So we ended the year with $311 million in the general fund in revenues and $57.3 million in SSD. On the expenditure side, the general fund had $302 million in expenditures, and SSD had 61.5. And finally, this is a copy of our award that we received this year for last year's statements, and it represents 41 years of this award. So I think we have a great team, and so obviously it takes a whole team to do these statements, and so I'd like to recognize all of them here. I have 24 people on my staff. A few of them are here. Stand up. Fridays are a little slim down here, but we do have a few here. Everyone contributes to these financial statements, and everyone plays a part. So thank you all. In addition to my staff, we also have cooperation from all of our elected officials, which is very, very important, because if we don't have cooperation from even one of them, it can be a bad situation. But we do. We have cooperation. Now hand it over to David, and y'all can ask him any questions you would like.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy New Year. Hope y'all are doing well. Good to see everybody. As Amy stated, again, my name's David Irwin, and I'm with Malden Jenkins. I was the partner who oversaw this year's audit of the county's financial statements, and certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here. Amy hit a few of the financial statement highlights, so I won't go into the numbers unless you all have any specific questions. But I did just want to briefly talk about our independent auditor's report, talk about the 2 compliance reports that we issue in conjunction with the audit, and then also just briefly discuss some information that the auditing standards we are required to communicate to you all. But again, the financial statements that have been presented to you all the responsibility of management and members of the board. As your independent external auditors, our responsibility is to issue an opinion on these statements. We conducted our audit in accordance with governmental auditing standards and generally accepted auditing standards. And again, I'm happy to say that we are issuing a clean or unmodified opinion on this year's report. Again, this is what you want. This is the highest level of assurance that we can provide your external auditor. What this means is that in our opinion, the financial statements are considered to be fairly presented in all material respects in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Amy briefly touched on this, but again, there are two compliance reports that we issue in conjunction with the audit. The first of which is the single audit report. Again, a single audit is a compliance audit that is required when an entity has over $750,000 of federal expenditures during the year. The county had around $27.6 million of federal expenditures this year. So, as was the case with the financial audit, we are issuing a clean or unmodified opinion on the single audit as well. The second compliance report is called the Yellow Book Report. Again, this is a report on the county's compliance with various laws and regulations, and as well as your internal control policies. Again, more good news. We noted no audit findings this year, meaning we noted no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in the county's internal controls during our audit. And as you all know, Chatham County is one of the largest counties in Georgia, so therefore there's a significant amount of financial activity that has to be accounted for. In addition, all the new accounting standards are being implemented each year, and really just how complex a financial reporting process is, it makes it all the more impressive to be able to present you all an audit that not only has a clean opinion, but no audit findings. And that's certainly something you all should be proud of, and again, as Amy touched on earlier, it's really a testament to the hard work done by your staff. Amy and Lisa Maria, they did a great job, as well as the entire finance department. As always, they were very accommodating our audit team and worked hard to address all of our questions and in order for us to get the audit finalized by the 12/31 deadline. So again, we certainly appreciate their hard work this year. When looking at your financial statements, again, as Amy mentioned, you all prepare what's called an annual comprehensive financial report, otherwise known as an ACFR. And again, an ACFR goes above and beyond the basic financial reporting requirements. And this document is submitted annually to the Government Finance Officer Association, as Amy said, where they put it through a pretty stringent review process. And during this review, their goal was not to assess the financial health of the county. What they want to do is make sure that the necessary information is in this report so the readers of your financial statements can do so themselves. And again, as Amy mentioned, through this review, the GFOA has once again awarded the county the Certificate of Achievement for Excellent Financial Reporting. And 41 years is very impressive. We audit around 750 governments throughout the nation. Of those 750, about 190 get this certificate. Very few can say that they received this for 41 years. So again, to me, it's just a testament of the county's continued desire for transparency and quality financial reporting. So again, this is an impressive document and certainly something you should be proud of. If you notice when you look at your financial statements, there's a lot of information in here. As Amy mentioned, I always like to remind everyone, if they can, to read through the management discussion analysis, otherwise known as the MD&A. It's towards the beginning of the report. It's on page C1. It's written by management. It really does a good job of bridging the gap between the financial statements themselves and the stories behind those numbers. So you'll see financial trends here. You'll see major changes. It provides side-by-side comparisons for the past 2 years' activity. If you ever find yourself asking, why did this increase, or what caused this change, oftentimes you can find your answer within the MD&A. So again, I would strongly encourage everyone to read that section. As far as the required communication, again, just kind of a recap, we are issuing a clean opinion. You have no audit findings this year. We received full cooperation from county management staff. There were no issues that came up that would have affected the financial statements. We had no uncorrected misstatements. And again, we are independent of the county as required by governmental auditing standards. So with that, I'll open up the floor for any questions. But I will say that you all are in good, sound financial position. You're governed responsibly, and you're governed responsibly, and you have a finance department that is a good steward and takes their stewardship seriously. And again, that's certainly something that not all communities can say. So we certainly appreciate the opportunity to be of service to you all and look forward to working with you in the future.
Commissioners, anyone wants a question? All right, I got 6, I saw 5, I saw 1. All right, did I get everybody?
Yep.
All right, so let's go to Commissioner Noah at 1.
I just want to publicly thank our finance team. when many counties and cities are in array, they just, money missing here, money missing there. I'm very thankful to, I think we're gonna have to build a new wall. Thank you for your awards, but it's a testament to the hard work of a few individuals and cooperation among many. So thank you for your hard work.
All right, Commissioner Whiteland.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I want to just echo Commissioner Noah's sentiments. Thank you, finance team, because y'all take care of the back of the house. We can put diatribes on social media and act crazy, but also go find other fights and stuff like that on behalf of the citizens. So thank you for your work, because you guys make it easy it's easy to just be able to have sigh of relief when we hear this and not have to worry about some of the challenges that some of our neighboring counties and cities are enduring. So thank you again for your work and your professionalism. We appreciate y'all.
All right, Commissioner Milton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to say the same thing. I want to tell Amy, good job, security. That's awesome when you get a report like that, and I can't imagine the bits and pieces that you have to put together to keep all of this. When they come in, you can cooperate and not be afraid to deliver something that didn't look right. So that's awesome. I really appreciate the fact that you all do a good job and the way you do it. So you're good to go.
All right, did I get everyone?
Mr. Chairman.
All right. Yes, sir.
If the commission is, no more comments from the commission, I'd also like to commend the finance staff and the team in general, to have this award presented for 41 years is a testament. And particularly in these financial times, with the economy up and down, to have a clean audit, receive this award, and what I'm most proud of, with the help of the finance team, that we've increased our bond rating. And that is a testament to the financial health of Chatham County. So I'd like to also thank the finance team for the extraordinary work, and for the audit staff. Marlon Jenkins, they do an excellent job, and they're good consultants, and they, whenever we have a question or we've got an issue, they help us out. So I'd like to thank them also.
All right. Did I get everyone? And let me be last, because I know the backside story. See that you don't know the backside story. See them ladies sitting back there? I give them, not only do I applaud the award they get for keeping the finance good, but they can grow some stuff. They got some real green thumbs back there. Them okras and them cucumbers I be getting in my bag. All right, and then the biggest thing though is, and I might have advantage on all the other commissioners because I'm in the building a lot of time. Boy, can they cook! What we celebrate? What we celebrating quickly?
That's right.
Yeah. What we celebrate on the third floor? On the third floor, what's coming up that y'all cooking and?
Well, we don't have anything specific right now. We do have a couple of retirements coming up. Vicky, our grants accountant, which you have worked very hard,
right,
is going to be retiring.
I sure did work hard. That's right.
So we will
and I hope that's
hopefully
not
have a
reason he
celebration for her.
But I'm tell them the same thing I tell all the other retirees. Don't think you can go home. All right, that's why when I saw Billy Wooten in here today, he's retiring, but don't think he can go home, because there's still work to do. But let me tell y'all something. When the food is on the table on the third floor, see, and the advantage I have is my office is right below them, so you know it comes. You know it comes, and I know they cooking up there, so I be going up there to get. I always bring my carry-out tray, don't I? I got Miss Gail. She got a bag of carry-out trays in her office, so I can just slide by there and slide on upstairs and get what I want out there. And thank you over, but on the serious, we can't thank you enough for the hard work you do. All right, and for keeping us straight, and especially when we look at the fact that it was your work, and I don't want you to ever forget this, it was your work that caused our bond rating to rise, okay? The work that you did was highlighted when our bond rating was increased. We can't say kudos, we can't say thank you enough for
Well,
the
it's
job
a
that you
team
do.
effort. It's a community effort.
Yeah, I
think
know.
it's not just finance, it's a lot of things that go into that, but thank you.
All right, all right. Commissioner,
Ladies and gentlemen.
say that?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we have
yeah.
a gentleman on our team now.
That's why I say, see that crew
Well,
back
you
there?
said ladies.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm sure it's hard.
No, they know I don't overlook nobody.
Jackson is brand new. He started about
Right.
a month ago, so he's
He
a
get,
new addition.
he'll get in line. Yeah, he brand new, but he'll break in real
As soon
good.
as he cooks the chairman something, the chairman will acknowledge it.
And it don't be for the chairman. I just happen to know that they up there doing something. Cause y'all be selling what, each other's birthday and other things? When
We
y'all
do,
be-
yeah, we
Or they
celebrate.
just decide that we gonna eat Friday?
Yep, yep.
And so, see, I get on the elevator and that dish be going up on the
sounds
elevator.
good.
I know it's time to go visit. It ain't for the chairman. But those other bags now, they be dropping off at the office, they got them cucumbers and tomatoes and all that stuff. That be for the chairman. All right, and I thank you, the chairman, thank you all for that, because I enjoy it. I love them cucumbers. Yes, I sure do. Thank you all for your report. All right, we go to the action calendar, and if I'm correct in the action calendar, we are accepting the action calendar's entirety except for number 12E, all right, which we will, we put on the back burner for a minute. So let me have a motion to accept the action calendar's entirety except 12E.
Motion.
Some,
Properly motion and second that we accept the action calendar as entirety except for 12E. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right, thank you. We go to our first reader, the petitioner, Police Recreation Association of Savannah Incorporated is proposing to rezone/map amendments to allow continuation of the existing residential duplex and club/lounge use while implementing stricter use regulations intended to minimize, and to surround the area during events located at 604 Wilmington Island Road, MPC file number Z-1025-000593, PIN number 1019-01009. The MPC recommends approval with conditions. District 4. Now, this is rezoning, so now do we have to have a public hearing?
We have to accept public comment if anyone's here.
Just comments, or we gotta do hearing on
No,
rezoning?
just comment.
Okay, so now, before we go any further, let me ask, is there anyone from the public except the petitioner now that wants to make any comments on this particular? All right, the petitioner want to make any comments? All right, any commissioner want to make any comments?
I just have a question.
Question?
Is this the property known as the police camp to the right of the Sheraton?
Yes.
Okay, it's been there for a
Oodles
long,
of-
long time.
oodles of years.
75.
It did do a property swap about
Correct.
10 years ago.
Right.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so this is the first reading, all right? And we'll come back to the second reading, and then we'll do the rest of it, all right? Second reading to amend Chapter 12, Article 5, Section 12-501, entitled Uniform Rules of the Road, to correct the police department and further allow the Chatham County Sheriff's Office to issue citations for traffic violations of the Chatham County Code Book, all right? Do I need a motion to amend? Give me a motion.
Motion.
A second? All right. Any unreadiness now? Mr. Attorney, is something you want to explain about this?
It's a housekeeping thing, but at the same time, it's very important because what it does is it allows our police department and sheriff's department and it conforms our ordinances to allow them to enforce the law, and there's no question about it. And it's to correct some things that have occurred recently that, you know, has changed the process a little bit. So that's what it is.
All right. All in readiness settled? Please, you got some questions?
Yes, please. Can you say what this does? I mean, are they allowed, are those citations good or not good?
Well, the citations, now that you have this ordinance from the sheriff's department, would now be good. It basically incorporates that along with the Chatham County Police Department, which already had that power. And it just says that our statutes will fall under this ordinance, and they can enforce any ordinance that's a violation of the law within the confines of Chatham County.
Thank you.
All right. We corrected some things that were out of place. Yes, sir.
Why do they need this ordinance? Don't all the sheriffs in Georgia have that authority?
Yeah, but you have, when you adopt ordinances, even though you have the ordinance, a lot of the motor vehicle laws require an affirmative act of the county commission. Like the speed limits, every year we go through the roads and adjust the speed limits. It's the same thing, except this involves police department's ability to give tickets.
So who can enforce unincorporated road traffic violations currently?
Chatham County Police Department can, and the Sheriff's Department can.
Then why are we doing this if they can already do that?
Well, we tried to, one of the statutes referred to the old police merger situation. It was never changed over, so we wanted to clean that up. And when we got to looking at it, that's why we did all this. It's truly housekeeping, but if you don't have it, you can create yourself some problems.
What kind of problems?
Like an unenforceable ticket.
Call the question, Mr. Chairman.
Sure. Are you any? Yeah, go ahead, Commissioner Whiteman.
I'm asking you to call the question.
Call for the question.
Yes, sir.
Let me, before we do that though, let me get from our youth commissioner.
It cuts off discussion and debate.
Yeah, you can't cut it off like that. That's why I'm going where I'm going. I got you.
No, I mean, if he called the question, we have to vote on it. You have to vote on it. Unless
you
he
talking because he
uncalls
called
the
the
question.
question.
Because he called the question, we got to vote.
I thought he said.
You can
Stops our
take it
discussion.
after the vote
But
if you want to.
understand me, when he said the question, I thought he was saying he had a question. I'm trying to clear up in my mind.
Yeah.
All right, but we got to call for the vote. But don't worry, I'll come back and get you. All right. So now go ahead and cast your votes. All right. Good. Now, let's go, Mr. McGinnis.
I had a question similar to Mr. Farrell's about what it means to further allow the Chatham County Sheriff's Office to enforce these rules. Isn't it already enforced, or is there any loopholes that there need to be closed, or it's just what exactly is the definition of this?
I think my best answer, then I'm gonna turn it over to the attorney. There were some loopholes, all right, and he referred to the language being about when the merger was that created some loopholes. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I was saying.
You gonna say the same thing?
Yeah, there's some things they say you got to do, so you do them.
Right.
That's one of them.
We used to have a joint police department, city and county, city of Savannah and county, and then we demerged, and the language in the old thing had that in there, so we had to clean it up. That's what basically, and it included the sheriff in that. Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chairman. I do have a question about, and I don't know if we can answer this now, but when we write citations from the sheriff's perspective, where does the revenue go? Does it go to the municipality that the ticket is written in?
Generally, yes. I mean, this will be a semi-new process because our previous sheriffs didn't do that. So there'll probably be some working that out, because you got clerks down there trying to determine where the money needs to go.
Okay.
And they handle so many of them that, you're gonna have some slip by that end up in the wrong hands, but eventually, that's what happens. The courts are good about collecting and keeping that up with that part of the situation.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, so let's move on now. We go to information. You don't have any information?
No, sir.
All right, we do have a need to have executive session for litigation, and is there anything
Personnel,
else?
maybe.
Other than the litigation part?
Yeah.
That's the only
Litigation
part?
and real estate, we do.
Real estate.
We're being
Okay, I
asked
know-
for an
yeah.
easement that we gotta take
Yeah,
care
okay.
of. I forgot.
Litigation and real estate. Motion to recess. All right. Properly motion and second that we go into recess into executive session. Ready for the question. Please cast your votes before you move. Casting all votes. Casting all four. Uh-oh, his stuff went out. Okay. Recess. Thank you all for being with us today, all right? Maybe we could have kept you longer, but